Hi everyone, my name is Sonia and I'm a registered dietitian. And today we are going to be talking about how to choose a better protein bar, what to look for in a protein bar, and also my top 5 protein bar choices. Now, you can use protein bars for a couple different reasons, but the main reason why I love to include them in my day is because they're a super easy, portable, on-the-go snack. Basically, they promote satiety or fullness throughout the day so that you can prevent excess hunger and reduce the risk of any overeating later on during the day. Now, with protein bars, they can have a couple different main protein sources. The main sources of protein can include whey protein, soy isolate protein, pea protein, brown rice protein, collagen, and of course, seeds, nuts, or seed or nut butters. Now, you guys can go ahead and pick whichever type of protein that you prefer, but I want you guys to know that for the brown rice protein and collagen, these are not complete sources of protein, which means that they do not provide all the amino acids that our body needs in the right ratios. So if you end up choosing a protein bar with either brown rice protein or collagen or both, I would highly recommend that you make sure that there is another source of complete protein alongside them. For protein bars, you'd want something that has a decent amount of protein, so anywhere from 10 to 15 grams at least per bar. Now, with fiber, it's not really the main thing that we're looking for because it is a protein bar versus a granola bar. And if you're more interested in granola bars, you can check out this video over here. So all that is to say is that fiber content needs to be decent, but you don't have to go out of your way to get an overly high fiber content. So something like at least 3 grams is going to be awesome. Sugar content, some protein bars, they use natural sugars. Some protein bars, they use sugar alcohols or other types of sweeteners. So it's really hard to say if there's any guideline when it comes to sugar content. So what I'm just gonna say is choose the one with the least amount of sugar that is possible and that you can find. Now, the very last thing we want to make sure of is that you want to choose a protein bar that contains as many whole ingredients as possible. And this is actually the reason why I almost went into a mental breakdown when I was trying to select the 5 options for you guys. This is because a lot of the commercial brands, and mind you, these are the protein bars that contain at least 20 or more grams of protein, they contained nothing else but just protein or sugar or sweetener or sugar alcohol, fats from a non-whole food source. They contain additives, flavorings, preservatives, binders. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to recommend? So anyway, one dietitian existential crisis later, here are the 5 protein bars in no particular order that I would recommend over the other protein bars. Now, keep in mind that I will be showing you exact flavors in this one just so that, I can pull up their nutritional content and ingredients. But generally speaking, the brands or the different flavors in these brands are pretty similar. Now, the first one that we have here is the Kind Plus bar. And with research, I've realized that the Kind Plus bar is probably the Canadian version and the Kind Protein bar is the American version. Now, this particular protein bar has about 250 calories, 18 grams of carbohydrates. It does have a higher saturated fat content, but the fiber content is really good at 6 grams. There's a decent 8 grams of sugar, and the protein is a decent 12 grams, where the main source is from the soy protein isolate, but also it does contain things like nuts and skim milk powder. Next is the RX bar, and this is the banana chocolate walnut flavor. These have such simple ingredients. They provide about 200 calories per bar, 5 grams of fiber, decent saturated fat, so not as high as the Kind bar. They have a little bit more carbs at 24 grams, and a bit more sugars at 16 grams just because of the ingredients that go inside this bar. And their protein is again a pretty decent 12 grams. So the third one is the Go Macro Banana Almond Butter Bar. This one provides about 280 calories. Saturated fat is 5%, which is really minimal. We have 35 grams of carbs, which is going to be the highest carbohydrate content of all the bars that I'm recommending today. We do have a slightly higher sugar content at 12 grams. We have decent fiber content at 3 grams, and we have 11 grams of protein. And the main sources here are the almond butter, brown rice protein, and pea protein. Now, the Go Macro bars, they do have also a pretty simple ingredients list, and their ingredients are organic, if that is very important to you. The fourth option is the Manitoba Harvest Dark Almond Chocolate Sea Salt Protein Bar. It provides about 230 calories. The saturated fat here is quite a bit higher. Mind you, they do occur naturally in hemp seeds because this is what it is made from. But also they do have things like cocoa butter and coconut oil inside. Their carb content is 15 grams, and this is the lowest amount of carbs in any of the protein bars I'm mentioning today, but it's good because you do need at least 15 grams of carbs for a snack. We've got decent fiber again at around 3 grams and pretty decent sugars at around 7 grams. And finally, we have about 10 grams of protein, and the main protein sources include hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, pea protein, almonds, and pumpkin seeds. And finally, we have the Simply Protein Chocolate Mint Bar. It provides about 160 calories, 12 grams of protein, where the main protein source is soy protein isolate, 5% saturated fat, which is again very minimal, 18 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of sugars, and there are no added sugars. And this is really one of the largest things that I love about Simply Protein bars. It has about 7 grams of fiber, which is super high, and this is from oats as well as chicory root. Now, if you remember from my granola bar video, and go watch it if you haven't, you'll know about chicory root and inulin and how they're the same thing. And for some individuals, especially those who suffer from IBS, they might be the cause of some gastrointestinal upset. So this is something that you do need to look out for. And finally, the Simply Protein bar is probably the most commercial protein bar out of all these 5 choices today, but I am happy to report that their ingredients list does contain a lot of items that we naturally call food. So hopefully you guys really enjoyed that video and learned about a couple different protein bar brands that you might like to try. Let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite protein bar, and I'll see you next time.